Today, we're going to talk about the companies that literally, and I mean literally, build the world around us. We're breaking down WHT Global, a company that is a true titan in the world of construction. Just think about your day for a second. That road you drove on this morning, the building you're in right now, the electricity lighting up your screen. None of that just magically appeared, right? It all had to be designed, planned, and built from the ground up. So the real question is, who does it? Well, in a surprising number of cases, the answer is a company like WHT Global. These guys are one of the major players that are actually constructing the very fabric of our modern world. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into exactly what they build and maybe even more importantly, how they pull it all off. Okay, first up, let's just talk about the sheer scale of it all. We're talking about the huge, fundamental connections that hold our cities and, frankly, our continents together. And the scope here is, well, it's just immense. It's not just one thing. WHT Global is building what you could call the arteries and veins of our society. You've got the highways and bridges, the railways and metros that move us around. Then you have airports that connect the entire globe, massive tunnels that go through mountains, and the harbors that welcome global trade. This is the bedrock of modern life. And look, this isn't just about pouring some concrete. Their entire reputation is built on handling these incredibly complex projects, getting them done on time, and meeting the highest possible standards. I mean, when you're building a country's infrastructure, there's just no room for error. Expertise is everything.
So, we've covered the paths we travel on, but what about the power that fuels the whole journey? How does a company like this actually help energize our future?
They're really playing on two major fronts here. On one side, you have renewables. They're all in on harnessing the power of nature through things like hydro and solar. But on the other side, they're also deep into traditional power generation, which includes the incredibly complex world of nuclear energy. This dual approach is totally key to their whole energy strategy. So just keep this number in your head. Two big energy fronts. They are building the power sources we need today, while at the same time developing the clean energy systems we're all going to need tomorrow. It's a real balancing act. And this right here really shows you how they're thinking about what's next. They're not just builders, they're innovators. You might see a phrase like green hydrogen development and think, what on earth is that? But it's actually pretty simple. It's about using clean energy, like from a solar farm, to split water and create a totally clean fuel, hydrogen. This could be an absolute game changer, and it's something they're actively looking into. Okay, so we've gone big. We've talked massive infrastructure and planet-wide energy. Now, let's zoom in a little bit, down to the scale where we all live our daily lives. This is all about building for people. I mean, just think about the buildings that make up a community. WHT's work covers all the essentials. The hospitals where we get better, the residential complexes we call home, the offices where we work, and the schools where we learn. They are literally constructing the backdrops to our lives. But here's the thing. For them, it's not enough to just throw up four walls and a roof. The real focus now is on creating certified buildings that are better for the planet and, just as crucial, are actually healthier for the people who use them every single day. So we've seen what they build, and it's seriously impressive. But the question I have is, how do you even manage projects with this kind of scale and complexity? Let's pull back the curtain on their methods. Their whole process follows this kind of modern blueprint broken down into 4 key steps. It all starts with super intense planning before anyone breaks ground. Then comes the magic of virtual design. After that, you get smart construction on the actual site, and it all ends with a sustainable final building. Yeah, this is not your grandpa's construction site. Okay, let's zoom in on that second step, because this is a real game changer. What exactly is virtual design and construction, or VDC? Okay, imagine building a perfect full-scale digital Lego model of your project before you even buy a single real brick. That's VDC. This digital twin lets them find any problems, make everything more efficient, and perfect the entire plan before any real work starts. It saves an unbelievable amount of time and money, and you get a way better building in the end. And VDC is just one piece of the puzzle. They've got a whole smart toolkit. They use prefabrication, which is basically building whole sections of a building in a factory. They have an intense focus on keeping things on budget, and they even have emergency response capabilities. It's a super sophisticated, tech-driven way to build. So we've looked at the what, and we've looked at the how. Let's bring it all home and tie it all together to really understand the full picture of a company like WHT Global. It really just boils down to 2 sides of the same coin, doesn't it? On one side, you have the what they build, the pillars of our world, infrastructure, energy, and our communities. And on the other side, you have how they do it, with a modern, intelligent approach using smart, virtual, and sustainable methods. So here's the big takeaway. Whether it's a single, energy-efficient office building or an entire nation's power grid, the work these builders do forms this invisible, yet absolutely critical backbone that supports our entire way of life. And that kind of leaves us with one final, big question. They've built the world we live in now, but as our planet, our technology, and our needs all keep changing so fast, what is the blueprint for tomorrow going to look like? What will the next generation of